Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Ruka.
A big boy Simon here bringing you a hot or not on the world's finest assassin.
Creativity. I was actually really shocked with the way the beginning started because first I thought that it was a bride getting ready for like her wedding day. And then when she was crying I was like, oh, that's not it. Maybe it's an arranged marriage, but it wasn't that either. Okay, seriously, this season of anime has been dark. Like, it has been so dark. That was shocking. I did not expect traffic or anything like that. And then they kicked us right in the mouth with saying, you know, we're not the good guys here. We're just doing our job, and we probably also work for the mafia indirectly. It was a lot, but in the creative department, I think that this anime did have a lot going for it. In the synopsis, they told us that Lou was going to die on a plane, and still, I was shocked when it happened.
I mean, they pulled out all the stops for that, didn't they? I mean, look, if you're going to kill a man, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's your gravity. Everything is cool until she takes out all your gravity, fam. He's in the air, he cannot run, he cannot move, and just to be sure, they shot the plane down. Just in case. I like, to be honest, if I was him, I'd be proud. I'd be like, this is how you're gonna take me out. Thanks, guys. Like, they did that. Look, for me, the whole creativity factor came from the fact, towards the end actually, where the goddess was like, I'm not sending you here to be the MC. I'm not even sending you here to be OP. I'm sending you here to kill the hero. We don't normally get that in the isekai, and that for me right there, among other things such as, you know, he's not going to be OP as I said earlier, and the fact that it started as an auction, and that's a nice way I'm going to put it, as Ruka said, this has already told me, this is the tone that we're working at, guys. You're either jumping in or you're jumping off right here, and they did that creativity.
Entertainment. So I was a little bit confused as to why in the beginning Tate and Dia were wielding guns, whereas all of the enemies had only swords. Maybe it's got something to do with Lou, since he came from like our world and he has a knowledge of guns, and maybe he's somehow implemented it, but it just seemed a little bit off to me. Also, I thought that his life as an assassin in our world was really exciting, and it was more exciting than all of the stuff that they had going on in the beginning. It felt realistic, and also the opening was like a James Bond movie opening. It was so dramatic, and I definitely think that they took a lot of inspiration from old school spy movies. I loved the opening, and I think also that as well caused a little bit of disconnect with the beginning part, because the opening was so impactful and then the beginning part was so different to that.
So in terms of entertainment for me, look, the only entertaining factor for me, actually there was many, but the one that really stands out for me is how the MC is a cold mother effer, bro. How he treated his apprentice trainee was sort of deep. He stuck a gun to the guy's forehead and told him, why aren't you prepared for this? And then he asked him, what were you trained to do? He said, he goes, why aren't you doing it, fam? Bruv, that scene right there, that was peak entertainment.
I thought that was a girl. Character development.
It was a girl.
I thought so. Lou is such a cool character. The way that he is so cool, how he's so cold and detached, but he's also really capable and realistic, and he's also extremely adaptable. He said that he was born and raised within the organization, and you can tell that he was, because he doesn't deviate at all from anything, and he thinks about everything, but he still is like, that's not my business. I'm just here to only do the job I was told to do and bounce the hell out of here. So his character is awesome. And also the second character that I liked, because really everyone else's character, I don't think that we really got to hear much about them, would be the goddess. Even though we only got a small amount of screen time with her, I really do like her character. She actually gave the MC a choice, and it was a legitimate choice. He could either be reborn, you know, his life is already gone, or he can continue on. I didn't think that it was going to be like this from the synopsis of the show. I thought it was going to be like a normal forced thing, but this goddess is actually a goddess I could get down with, you know? And also it seemed like she picked him because of his regrets, which I also liked, because it brings in the whole element of ghosts and spirits. You know, they stay around if they have regrets. There's that thing. So I actually like that. I felt like that was brought into it as well. I like the goddess character, even though she's kind of annoying with how peppy she is. She's pretty decent.
Well, you picked the two I wanted to talk about, so I'm going to talk about another two. I want to talk about Tart and Dia. So Tart and Dia are basically, I guess, the new assassins taken under his wing in the new world. And it was all fan service for me. Yes, it was actually really well choreographed fan service, but it was fan service nevertheless. And being told that they were 14 didn't help the situation for me. I thought, okay, why? Because, like, obviously, what? I don't want to see 14-year-olds like that. Do you get what I mean? However, I did like the language that they used, which was basically backwards. I personally believe this was a shout out to all the manga readers out there, having it written backwards, back to front, just to say, we got you, this is how you read normally, sort of thing, when they were saying their spells. So fire was Erif and all of that stuff. I thought that was pretty cool personally.
But the words aren't all backwards, you just read.
I know this. I'm just saying it was a nod. You know how they always say that the elfin language and the angel language is backwards, like in Overlord and stuff like that. It was a nod to that kind of trope that is rarely used.
World building. I personally disliked the use of a flashback in this case. I've mentioned it earlier on. It didn't do anything for it. The opening went with the end part of the episode. They should have just done it like chronologically instead of jumping around through time, because I didn't appreciate it. It made it feel a little bit disjointed, and I think that if they had just opened it the way it was intended, says me who didn't have any kind of design in this.
Yeah, this ain't your show, bro. I'm just saying.
No experience making a show or putting one together.
You haven't even watched past episode 1.
With my very valid opinion. And also on top of that, I like the assassin world better now. I understand most of the episode was on our side of the line, I guess. So it makes sense that I would be more attached to it. And I was also thinking, what's going on? Because we've got guns and swords. No one's got any proper kind of armor on. It just seemed all over the place.
So this is where me and Ruka disagree. I think the world building was actually, like, look at the graphics. That part was done well. Now, the world building on both sides, I think, were done really well. They took their time to show us that even in the fantasy worlds, there's some real problems, and they actually made it believable. Now, I understand where Ruka's going with the whole disjointed thing, but for me, it further emphasized the duality, because if you look at the opening, the whole opening was about duplicity and duality. Two-Face, wearing the mask, being an aristocrat, this, that, and the other, and it fit, because the episode was like that, and I feel like they followed the motif and the symbolism the whole way through. So for me, I feel that's what they did with the world building, and I'm okay with it.
Plot execution. They've done a massively good job. I'm just sorry, this is already a hot. It's already done. It's done, guys. Leave. Now I'm done. I'm joking.
Few minutes in and Ruka called it. Alright, guys. It was nice seeing you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe.
No, stop. Okay. So, plot execution, they obviously did an amazing job. They have shown us how this life that he's going into is basically going to be a continuation of his old life, except instead of having the organization, he has the goddess. And since he has actually left the world with such regrets and such anger, doing everything that he was told and still getting screwed over, he might not actually have such a great response to the goddess, even though he's going to clearly take her up on her offer, because now he's been completely betrayed. Why is he going to believe somebody else? So you already can see all of the different things that are going to be popping up. He's obviously an assassin for hire, but at the same time, the thing that he was breaking up seemed slightly weird. They're breaking up a traffic site. However, his mission is to kill the hero. So is this connected to the hero? Is the hero actually wilding out in this world? It gives you a lot of thoughts about what's to come, and I think that they have done a great job setting it up and making sure you know what is going to happen, and that you might think it's predictable, but you're going to have some very unpredictable aspects that are just going to pop up.
Ruka hit something that is very poignant here in terms of the plot execution. Look, for me, the plot execution started from the inception of the opening.
Yeah.
It did not stop. See, look, okay, we watch a lot of anime and we've kind of seen lots of things happening in terms of the way that people are telling their stories. It's very hard to get a hot in terms of plot execution on your first episode, because you need to tell me what the overarching plot is. First of all, you need to exposit so I know what the motivations are and what is plaguing the characters involved in the overarching plot. The episode itself needs to have a standalone plot that is followable and movable. This episode gave us 2 plots that was followable and movable. From the beginning and the inception of the opening, decided that they were going to tell us the themes and the movements and the motifs and the symbolism of the whole show as a whole. And at the very end, just when you've had enough and you've gone, you know what, you lot have done all right, but no cigar, they go, by the way, make a choice. That's your plot. Boom. I'm sorry, Ruka's right. It's a hot. I'm sorry, it is.
To the verdict. Creativity, hot or not?
Hot.
Creativity is definitely a hot. I really thought that it was creative because it didn't just have one little creative aspect. It was creative with normal things. Like I said, I was still shocked about how he died, even though I literally knew how he was going to die.
Yeah.
They still managed to shock me because I didn't expect that they would have like a freaking army plane, what looked like a guided missile, to completely blow up the plane after they've already blown up the cockpit and killed all of the pilots. It was just mad. Entertainment.
So for me, entertainment is hot because, literally just because of the MC. He is my entertainment. He's cold, he's calculating, he's smart, he's intelligent. He's everything I kind of want to be, and, you know, will eventually be probably, except for an assassin.
Definitely a hot for entertainment. It was very entertaining from the beginning. They paid attention to detail as far as I'm concerned. Character development.
So for me, in terms of character development, it's a hot. But the reason why it's a hot is because he gave me 2 seconds of a character and I knew exactly what she was about.
I thought that the character development was hot as well. Even though they only developed 2 people, that was all we really needed. They didn't really need to make too much of a fuss. Good job. World building.
It's a hot for me. The graphics alone just make it a hot. And I know world building is not just graphics, but god damn, look at this.
I have to agree it's a hot. Even though I don't like the first world, it is still a very well built world. I can already see what it's kind of like. I can tell that the girls have advanced equipment that everybody else probably doesn't have, and people obviously don't have magic, because we also heard, I can't remember whether it was Dia or Tate, who said, oh, he's a magic user. It was very shocking that the normal population has magic. So obviously I understand what it's about. So they did a good job. Plot execution.
I think we already answered this one, don't you?
We already answered this. It is a hot from both of us because the plot is just sick. 5 out of 5 hot for both of us on its very first episode. Big Boy Summer didn't want to watch this one, but I told him to sit that ass down.
Wait.
Didn't you want?
No, of course I did. I wanted to watch something else first. But I'm glad that you, bruv, don't do that. Look, okay. It's the internet, bruv. These guys are unforgiving. They're unforgiving. Look at what they did to Dave Chappelle.
Okay, sorry.
Jesus.
Okay, we both wanted to watch this one, so it's a 5 out of 5 from both of us.
Listen, now trying to get me crucified by our people.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Peace.